Hey, what's good, everybody? Today I'm about to show you exactly why having a rooster has changed this flock right here forever. For the better or the worse. We're going to talk about everything today and why you should or should not consider adding a rooster to your flock. Or if you lost a rooster recently, why you should or should not consider re-adding a rooster to that flock. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the benefits, and they they really outweigh the cons here. So first of all, these chickens are a whole lot more friendly now that my rooster is gone. I can actually walk past them and they don't run away. They either like duck down or like they just stay put and don't care at all, which is because they don't have a rooster. If you guys don't know, back in July, like right at the end of July, a rooster falcon was attacked by like a coyote or something and carried like 3/4 of a mile up the road before he ran into the state forest. So that was interesting. I guess he let his ego get to him or something, because he's been really egotistical right before then. And then in this chicken coop, the chickens have also laid more eggs, although like these last couple days I've noticed a significant decrease for whatever reason. I know someone's stealing the eggs or someone's collecting the eggs before me, but I've been getting 2 or 3 eggs every day recently. But like right after the fact, we haven't been getting like 3 eggs a day in this flock to like getting 6 or 7 eggs a day in this flock. However, these chickens are going through a molt right now, so that might actually explain a whole lot. If you didn't see our barred rock earlier in this video, right over here, the black and white striped one, this is because of the rooster. Do you see the feathers that she's getting back in there? That's because the rooster destroyed all the feathers that were already there, so she actually has to use her energy to regrow all those missing feathers. But before she can do that, she can't lay any more eggs before then. Okay, now let's talk about the cons, and there is some pretty interesting cons that do actually come around with not having a rooster in your flock. And first of all, we're going to talk about the obvious. Not having somebody to protect or defend your flock. If like no one's defending the flock, then how are they going to survive if like a coyote like jumps this fence, or a bobcat comes in and takes a chicken or 2 every now and then? That is a good question, and sadly without a rooster, there isn't much your hens can do other than go into the chicken coop. Unless your rooster sucked. If you had a bad rooster, then even with the rooster, there isn't much your hens could do. Just sit back, relax, and watch the unfolding chaos and hope and pray that they're not the next one. That's with roosters that suck, like Falcon. If this flock had a rooster like Waldo, then they'd be able to go back and watch the chaos ensue, while Waldo would be out here defending the chicken flock with his life, because he was kind of like that. I think he almost died twice before he actually ended up dying completely due to, of course, the coyotes, which took his life pretty quickly, and he lost pretty early in that battle with those coyotes that were absolutely destroying him. They were absolutely destroying his flock. Pretty sure he's the reason why not everybody died, and why there were 6 chickens that survived that pretty decent sized attack that unfolded last July. Alright, so now it's finally time to answer that question. Is your flock better with or without roosters? Now that question can be answered in multiple different ways, so I'm going to answer that question in multiple different ways. If you want a flock like my pet flock, who I was just recording the majority of this video in, then a rooster might not really be necessary, because they're usually kept a bit closer to the home in a more safe environment. But obviously for their summer location right now, we usually move them seasonally, not monthly anymore, because it's a bit more easier to keep them in a specific area for a whole season. The fall area, I think their fall and winter area will be a bit closer to the home, and their spring area will probably be around down there somewhere. Now the reason is very simple, because we don't really need a rooster over there, and the areas we move into aren't usually that bad, so they don't really need a fence. And that's not really the biggest reason why we don't keep a rooster in that flock. The real biggest reason is because it's a pet flock. They're not supposed to have a rooster there. It's a flock that like everyone, the family and friends, can come over and greet them. You're supposed to be able to walk in that flock, know 100% that you'll be safe in that flock without getting absolutely attacked by a rooster. The farm flock, on the other hand, we'd probably need a rooster in this flock. This is a flock where, quite simply, the chickens are meant to need to have roosters. This flock is basically our experimental flock, basically. It's supposed to lay us both eggs and possibly make some money from hatching out baby chickens. So we might need a rooster in this flock, maybe 2. If we get more chickens, we have 21 in this flock right now. We used to have like 30 something, but like that little bobcat and coyote decided to come over here, and they're gonna soon learn what paying the price means. Well, not the bobcat, sadly, but he's gonna be evicted. The coyotes are gonna soon learn what that means, though, if they come back. But as you guys can see, this flock will probably need a rooster, so it really depends on which way you look at this question. If you want a pet flock, you shouldn't get a rooster. If you want a flock that you're going to keep a bit further out that's more meant for business, then you might want a rooster. But just be cautious, because the rooster will chase you across the yard, especially if he's the top #1 in that flock. But if you have more than one rooster, then there's going to be a lot more fighting, and you might be a bit safer walking in the yard with more roosters, because the roosters will be a lot more focused on actually fighting each other. Alright, so that just about does it for everything I wanted to talk about today. If there's more you want me to talk about, be sure to leave a comment down below. I respond to every single comment I get on my channel, unless there's like 160,000 comments, then me and my friends will respond to your comment then in that situation. I'll try to get to everybody in under 2 days, but I hope you guys enjoyed, so don't forget to leave a comment down below saying you enjoyed it or something like that, some criticism, I don't care. Be sure to click the like button, and the subscribe button, because it really helps me go a long way. I'm trying to reach 4K ASAP, both hours and subscribers. And don't forget the video on the center of the screen exists. That video right there is my entire podcast, The Ultimate Chicken Guide, which teaches you everything you need to know about chickens. Soon it's going to be a once-a-month occurrence. That's going to start in September due to my new and improved upload schedule, but we'll get to that eventually. So, guys, I think it's about time I say goodbye, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.